All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Bay Area Modern Medical Center and the Jeeves Law Group. We are so pleased to welcome in the only other man to lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a Super Bowl championship besides Tom Brady, who has retired today. And that is the great Brad Johnson, the Bull, joining us now. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great, JP. Appreciate you having me on the show, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I said about Tom, that I think should be his lasting legacy is something I would also echo about you, as a 10th round pick in the NFL when they used to have 10 rounds. A guy that comes from somewhat of obscurity, works his ass off. Maybe not the greatest athlete in the world, but you're certainly much more athletic than many people give you credit for.
Right.
Becoming a Super Bowl champion, being on top of that podium. And I think you two share a lot of those same qualities. Is that the thing that you think of the most when you see Tom Brady and you see what he's accomplished in his career?
It was funny a couple of weeks ago at the end of the season. He talked about how good he was at darts and
right.
He's good at hitting a baseball
That's
and
you.
Shoot a basketball.
That's you.
But he couldn't run fast and he couldn't jump. And those are the things he probably worked hardest at.
Right.
But when honestly, the first time I heard he retired was this morning when you texted me.
Yeah.
And when I think about it, and I went and saw his speech that he gave at the beach and about retiring, and I just say good for him.
Yeah.
Like, good for him. He deserves it. And I often think of the movie Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump's running across America, and he gets all these people that are following him, and it's kind of, more people join him. And then all of a sudden, Forrest Gump, he stops out there in the middle of the desert. And he says, it's time to go home. And I see the same thing with Tom, 23 years, 649 touchdowns, 251 wins, 58 game-winning drives, 14 game-winning drives in the playoffs, and 7 Super Bowls, and the list goes on. Like it takes a decade just to read his accomplishments. But I think what's awesome about him is, and I've only met him one time. I met him at the quarterback challenge in 2003. I played against him one time, and what I remember about him and what I see from him on TV is just his relentless, his passion, his drive, his will to become. How good can he throw a foul? How can he perfect taking a snap? How can he perfect calling the play in the huddle better? And how can he win a 2-minute drive? And I think one of the greatest things of a quarterback that everyone gets lost in is how far can you throw a ball and how athletic and what was that kind of crazy move that you can make. But the greatness of Tom, I think, is just showing up to practice every day, wanting to win, wanting to make his team better, and giving his team, his organization, hope and belief that he could do it. And dadgummit, if he didn't do it for 23 years and we all watched on the couch, and it was awesome. And JP, honestly, I think what's really cool was, even for you got to cover the greatest quarterback of all time for 3 years.
That's right.
And the people in Tampa Bay, they got to experience, winning. They hadn't won a playoff game in 18 years since we had won it.
Yep.
But you got to see Tom in real life. You got to see him celebrate and, throw the trophy around on the boat and everything that came with it. But you got to experience it, and you got to feel like you're a part of it. So it was pretty cool.
Well, that's so well put, my friend. So well put. But I want to tap into your personal knowledge here. You said you played against him one time. If I know you were probably out early watching what he was doing in pregame, what he did here, what he did there, and watched him during the game. What did you learn about quarterbacking from watching Tom Brady and playing against him?
Well, it's when he walks in the building, you feel like Darth Vader walked in the building. I mean, you know he's there. Like you can feel.
You feel his presence.
There's a different heartbeat in the city when he comes to your town, and everyone wants to see it, and you feel like, he could be 14 points down. You feel like, golly, he's going to lead them back, and he kind of does, But he gives your team that you're playing for hope. But if you're on the other team, it gives you doubt. And those are, and not that he's better, but that doubt that he puts in you, it makes him better. And he did it for 23 years. So that's what Tom does. All eyes are on him whenever he comes in the building, when he warms up, and then obviously when he plays.
Well, you played for a long time in the league yourself. What was it? From 17 years. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
How hard is it to stay in the league and to be able to do it at that level for that long.
It's tough because every day you are competing. There's someone going to be drafted behind you. You're trying to stay healthy. You're trying to keep a spot on the team. You're trying to prove your worth. Every day you're trying to prove your worth for the season, for the stats. Can you put your team in the playoffs? Can you still play at that level? And for someone like me, I retired at 40 and my body was done. I couldn't play anymore. Like, I physically could not throw the ball. I physically could not run. Like, I could not play in a flag football game. That's where I was at. And the difference with someone like Tom, like he retired last year supposedly,
right.
but he could still play.
Yeah,
it's still in him. And if the headlines today were saying he's coming back to Tampa, or the potential that he was going to San Francisco, like we would believe it.
Yep.
And so that's how it's incredible that he's kept his body in shape that long. He only had 1 year of injury. It's just you just have to marvel at what his approach and the way he accomplished it and the way he went about his business.
Brad Johnson joining us here, Bucs Super Bowl winning quarterback. What you guys did really put the Buccaneers on the map. There's no question about that. Did you sense from afar that Tom took it to another level in terms of where the Bucs are in terms of their national stature? I mean, we're kind of so close to it here. It's been an amazing ride, but I don't think we get the national perspective of what Brady's presence here has been. Could you put that into words?
Yeah, I think if you go back, he's been there 3 years. They go to the playoffs 3 times.
Right.
And it's just hard to make the playoffs. But if you go back 4, 5, 6 years ago, you're getting that 1 o'clock game on Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Yeah.
And and then all of a sudden, you're getting the Sunday night game, you're getting the Monday night game, you're getting the 4 o'clock game, you're getting you're on TV, you're getting the coverage on ESPN, they're in the building coverage, and like you're the Dallas Cowboys. Like, you get that attention. You know what? The stadium seats are sold out. The boxes, you can't buy box seats. I mean, the flags are waving, and the whole thing. So that's and you know what? He brought free agents with him to Tampa. Like, people, you have to have players around you, great players. And then this year they went through a bunch of injuries, and you see what happens if you don't have a team full of healthy players.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, exactly.
But he gives you chance, he gives you hope, and he gave Tampa life for 3 years. It's incredible, the national attention that it did bring to the Bucs.
Brad Johnson joining us here. And Brad, you were a cerebral player yourself. And I wonder, when you watch Tom Brady in his prime, and maybe not this season, when you watched him, what is it that caught your eye? What is it that he did better than everybody else from X's and O's standpoint, where you said, yep, there it is. There it is. And also, I would also say, from an athletic standpoint, I thought, up close watching him in practice, from 10, 15 yards away, running in the red zone, his ball placement, his velocity, and the way he could look guys off and come back to the other side so quickly with the way he moved his feet, I think is underrated. What are the football things that you noticed when he played that you said, damn, that's good?
All the above. I think what he did better than anybody is he made the routine play routine.
Yeah. I
mean, very rarely when he threw the interception in the playoffs down there in the end zone, he's throwing the ball away. We're like, what just took place? Like, that was the first time I'd seen just a bad mistake. In 23 years, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
But he made routine plays routine. I don't, when you just don't remember him making that throw. Like, what? It was just, he made the normal play normal. He made the routine play routine. If guys were open, he hit them in stride.
Yep.
If he didn't hit his first outlet, he could get to his second. He could get to his third. He could get to the fifth eligible guy. And I thought he was extremely, extremely accurate, athletic in the pocket.
Yep.
That's what gets lost about a quarterback. Like, we're timing 40s and verticals, and no, you can be extremely athletic in a 6-foot box in that pocket and be able to keep your eyes down the field and be able to take a hit right in the nose.
Yeah.
And
deliver football 30 yards downfield. Yeah.
You got to be willing to take a hit for the team and for the play. And so he kept his eyes down the field. He made plays with his feet in the pocket. Now, not outside the pocket, but he was hard to sack.
Yeah.
And just a guy that you want to play for, but extremely accurate and could deliver the ball. It's hard to do it for that long.
All right, last question for you. Is there one Brady story that goes around locker rooms or that you heard from other buddies that may have played with him that you just said, damn, that's crazy? Anything come to mind?
No, I don't know.
That you can say on the
I can't really think of anything. You know, I just remember everybody was with him. They talked about he was a humble dude. He loved his teammates, loved playing, loved competing. Guy that played dominoes in the in the back room too, and just everyone just has total respect for the guy. So
awesome
just
stuff.
Hell, I don't know what I'm gonna do, JP. I mean, I spent 23 years of my life watching him on my couch. So who am I gonna cheer for now?
I think you have a couple young boys that you can cheer for. I think you'll be all right. And by the way, we want to get you on to talk about Max and Jake sometime and what's going on with them. So we wish y'all the best.
Well, we're gonna get Rondi to the Hall of Fame here soon.
Damn
hopefully.
right.
That's
hopefully in a couple days.
You know that.
Hopefully in a couple days, and we'll have some fun in Canton with that. That'll be fun for sure.
No doubt.
All right,
Hold
Brad.
on.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. You're the best.
See JP. See you, bud.
Right, it's always great you can call a Super Bowl winning quarterback on a day like today and get his perspective. I thought that was amazing. I thought it was some of the things he said right there were just like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
You can feel him in the building. Isn't that not Darth Vader in the evil sense, but you just feel his presence.
Yeah, the presence is there.
Yeah. What a great metaphor.
I like that one. And I also love when you asked him about what did he do that was like you went, oh, that's it right there.
Yeah.
He made the simple play simple.
Yeah. Kept it simple. And that sounds like such an easy thing to do. It's not.
No, it's
With
not.
Chaos all around you, to be able to do that is consistently amazing.